Well, it is finally time. The newest pistol character has just released. This is also the first support character we are going to be getting on this account. We are going to be pulling for the new character today. There are some events I probably need to do. There is this one, but I will probably end up doing that later because I cannot really be bothered to do any of that now, because all I really care about is doing some lovely pulls, because we have quite a bit of pulls we are going to be doing today. So I will probably get around to these events, but I don't know how soon. Obviously, we're going to go for the newest character, which I believe is pronounced Ciaccona, I think. I'm not really too sure how it's pronounced, but we're going to pull for her and her weapon. Obviously, they are first. And then we do have Carlotta and Carlotta's weapon. I will not be pulling for this because I would like to get these ones first and more copies of one of the characters. So after we do get Ciaccona and her weapon, I'm either going to go for more copies of her or another couple copies or a copy of Carlotta. But these two are our main priority. So enough putting it off, let's go do some pulls. I forget what pity we're at and I forget if we're on a 50-50 or not, but oh well, we will just pull. Go away. Don't need you. Let me actually check that really quick. We are at 19 pity and we are guaranteed. So this brings us to 39 pity and we just need a 5-star. Our first copy of Ciaccona will be pretty easy because I just need a 5-star. So an early 5-star would be nice, but knowing our luck, I don't know how that'll happen. Mortify, I'll take it, but you're already S6, so it doesn't really matter. Double Mortify though. That's would be nice if I didn't have him S6. This brings us to 46. I'm pretty sure 56 pity. So this is 66 pity. There's the 5-star. Okay, nice. So I think that's a little bit early. I don't really know. I forget when soft pity is, but we do see a 5-star on 66 pity. But this is going to be a pretty easy one. We're guaranteed. So going to be kind of late in the pool, but there we go. There is our Ciaccona.
Hear that? A twinkling star just tinkled to the ground.
I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be background music, but because my music is turned down, I can't hear anything. But pretty sick little animation there. Thank you very much. That is the newest character now acquired. And we didn't even need to touch the astrite yet. So now we got to do a little swap-saroo with the team. We're going to create a new team here. We're going to throw on our Ciaccona. We're going to throw on Alto because he's going to be main DPS now. And for a bit of extra DPS, we'll throw on Mortify. He will be a little bit of a sub DPS because this team, I'd assume, will not do as much damage as Carlotta. We now have a little team built around DPS Alto and Ciaccona, which I think is how it's pronounced. But now that we have her, I will be going and checking.
You can call me Ciaccona.
I was close. Not Ciaccona, it's Ciaccona. I was almost there. We are actually getting more of these. I forget about that we are going to get a lot of this from doing all the pulls we're going to do today, which is nice. It's going to get this up a little bit higher so we can buy everything else in here. But now, with Ciaccona acquired, let's move on to her weapon, which I have 31 of the weapon banner pulls already. We are only at 7 pity, and there is no 50-50 on the weapon banner, so we just need a 5-star again here. A little bit less pity though. I'm going to skip because I don't really care. We get pistol, nice. So again, an early would be very much appreciated, but we will see how that ends up going. We see another pistol. That is good. More of them the better. With that, we do need to start dipping into the astrites a little bit now. So 47 pity is still going to be a 4-star. Another pistol though, which is very much appreciated and very nice. 57 pity. Do we see our lovely 5-star? We do not see the lovely 5-star yet. We still see more pistols. Awesome. Actually, really, there's only one weapon on here, or one 4-star weapon that isn't a pistol, so that's actually pretty good for this account. Now, this should be a 5-star, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go. That is going to be our 5-star. That's 57 or something pity. Mortify, sick. More pistol characters. He's already S6, as I said, but still, we continue the trend of just getting pistols in the weapon banner. And we will also get a nice 5-star pistol right here. Boom. Looks very sick. I have no clue what stats it has or literally anything about it, but there we go. We have Ciaccona and her weapon. So before I continue those pulls, I need to have a look at what that is. Crit rate. Inflicting Aero erosion on the target gives 24% Aero damage bonus for 10 seconds. Hitting targets with Aero erosion reduces their Aero resistance by 10% for 20 seconds. That's actually pretty good for an Aero buffer, which is what she is. So there we go, Ciaccona and her weapon are now acquired. So now we need to decide what I want to do with the remaining pulls. We either go for an S4 Carlotta, which after using any of her heavy attack variations, increases everyone on the team's resonant skill damage by 25%. Or we get the Ciaccona S1, which, after casting her resonant skill, grants Ciaccona immunity to interruption for 3 seconds, and using a basic attack increases Ciaccona's attack by 35%. Okay, not bad. What does your S2 do? During your resonance liberation, resonators in the team gain 40% aero damage bonus. That's kind of nice. So we either go for more skill damage, or we go for a little bit of extra damage, I'm assuming, from Ciaccona, and then maybe a bit of aero damage bonus boosting. So I personally think I'm going to go for more copies of Ciaccona. Only because, well, yes, more copies for Carlotta will be nice, and I eventually do want to get her to S6. I do want to do the same for Ciaccona as well. I do want to get her to S6 at some point as well. And I feel like we do want to get a little bit more damage out of her. This is a difficult pick because they're both kind of good, but I think I am going to do what I said, and I am going to go for more copies of Ciaccona. She's the newest character on the banner, so it just seems kind of fitting to try to get more copies of her. And who knows, maybe if we can get her S2 really quickly, then... Oh, Chisha, nice. Then maybe we can do some pulls for Carlotta as well, but honestly, I don't think my luck's going to be that good today. So this brings us to 30 pity now. Do we see a nice early? We do not see a nice early. Oh my goodness. Mortifee. Getting so many Mortifees right here. That is actually kind of nice. There is still a 4-star. I swore that was going to be a 5-star, but it was not. We do see a pistol though. Oh my goodness. Please. Mortifee, thank you, but I don't need any more of you. Okay, come on. Surely. Sure, there we go. That's like hard pity, probably. At least win the 50-50. Come on, at least win the 50-50. That is not the right Aero character. And that's not even new because I already have you on this account. Yippee. Well, that was the first pull, so double 5-star maybe? Okay. Yes, that's fun. We love to see that. Back to back, please. Please, back to back. No. This is why I did a ton of farming, because I knew this wasn't going to go well. That's why I spent like the entirety of last video and the video before that, and even the one before that, just doing a ton of farming, because we're going to need all of the astrite we can possibly get. And this is maybe just barely going to get us an S1 Ciaccona. S1 and R1. So we go to 30 pity now. We get another Mortifee. Awesome. This is literally going to be our last... Oh, okay, wait, it was early. Okay, good. Good, lovely, lovely, lovely. I'll take it, I'll take it. I was going to say that's going to be our second last temple, which is good that it was, because there is our S1 Ciaccona. I'm pretty sure this just sort of increases her own damage a little bit, but that's fine, I'll take it. It's still going to be kind of good, and maybe, who knows, we see double. Double 5-star would be kind of cool. No, go away. I do not want you. I honestly forget you're even in the game. We do not see a double 5-star though, that's unfortunate. Well, I reckon we have like 1 and a bit more 10 pulls. I'm just going to go all in for Ciaccona and see if we could maybe somehow get incredibly lucky and get an S2. But seeing as we only have no more 10 pulls left, I doubt that's going to be the case. Oh, we are so close. Come on. 360 for another wave band, and we have 324. I should be able to grab all those last pulls from here, because all of this resets a lot, and we have definitely claimed a lot of the rewards from this and the weapon banner. So I don't think we're going to be lacking on these night market tokens now. Indeed, we can go buy all of the lovely pulls, which is actually a lot more than I thought. And then we might as well just go buy out the entire shop, because I have a lot of stuff, so why not? Well, now we come back into the pools. We have 8 Lustrous Tides. That is what they're called, right? No, Radiant Tides. Lustrous Tides are these ones. Okay, so we go another temple. Do we see something kind of nice? We do not. Okay, unfortunate. Well, we have a couple more single pulls left, so let's just finish off with all of these single pulls. Maybe we get lucky. This has been a kind of meh pulling session, which is not exactly what I was hoping for, but oh well, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. I was really hoping with all the pulls we had, we could get maybe a couple more, maybe, you know, S2 with her weapon, but that is not going to be the case. What I was sort of hoping to do was go S2 and then get a copy of Carlotta, but that was probably going to be pushing our luck way too far. And it indeed was, because we only managed to get S1 and her weapon and 0 other copies of Carlotta. Obviously, we still have the rest of this banner to do some more farming, and I will be doing more farming. We still have another 20 days, and hopefully by then we might be able to get enough pulls so we can just get this and I can buy another copy of her. But for now, that is all of the pulls I am able to do, unfortunately. But at least we do have Ciaccona now. And also I noticed she has this really cool little animation when she sprints. And that is actually kind of sick. I love little stuff like that. But that is enough yapping. We need to actually go get Ciaccona built and see what she can sort of do and learn how she works. I will be doing an entire video probably a little bit later. I just would like to get some more stuff farmed for her and make sure she's fully maxed out. But I will be doing another video at some point with the full DPS Alto. Although for right now, I think I'm just going to try to focus on getting Ciaccona built and just kind of seeing what she does. We'll mess around with the DPS Alto build at some point. Let's have a look at you and your lovely S1, which I think just increases your own damage, but I don't know how your fortes work, so I'll have to look into that. So we have actually farmed everything for her in the last video, so this should be a pretty easy process of leveling up. Also, I did forget to farm her flower drops, this stuff, but it looks like we have a decent amount, and there should be a decent amount in the world, so it shouldn't be a problem. I don't actually even remember farming these, but apparently I have at some point. So if I've managed to find 40 something of them without even knowing that they exist, I think I should be able to find the rest of them, no problems, if I need any more. Which, by the looks of things, I might not, because there is level 80. And, okay, no, we are going to need a few more. We can just jump over to wherever the collection area was over here and grab the last few, and then we can get Ciaccona all the way up to level 90 straight away. Very nice and easy. That is why we love to do some pre-farming, because the second we get characters, we can just immediately max them out, and that is very nice. I do think, though, the one thing we won't be able to max out is her fortes, because I don't have all of the weekly bosses, but we'll be able to get them relatively far, I'd imagine. Is that enough? That is indeed enough. Boom, there you go. So Ciaccona, immediately you can go all the way up to level 90. Boom, lovely. So next we move on to your weapon, which I should also be able to get all the way up to level 90 immediately. So as expected, boom, there we go. There's the weapon all the way up to level 90. And we need to have a look at your fortes now, which I think I'm just gonna focus on getting all of them up to level whatever it is when I start needing weekly boss drops. And then I will probably start leveling things up as needed with the weekly bosses. I'm not too sure which ones are more important with her. I haven't looked at any guides or any videos on how she works, so I'm going to be kind of making things up a little bit. I will, as I do with every character, just end up maxing everything out anyway. And I'm pretty sure the only thing that we won't have enough of today is going to be the weekly boss drops. So I believe what's probably going to be the most useful for her is her skill, Forte Circuit, and Resonance Liberation. I don't know which one's going to be the best out of them, but let's just get them all up to level 7. And I mean, while we're at it, we might as well get these two up so we don't need any of the purple drops anymore. So I think we do these ones here because I like to sort of get these other skill bonus stuff. I like to get them up first. I forget we have a ton of these in the supply packs, so let's just grab some from there. So there's all the bonus stuff leveled up, and now let's just start working through the main kit and getting this as far as possible. Let's get all them to level 8, get the Forte Circuit to level 9. It looks like we will be able to go to level 9 with all of these. I am going to get your Forte Circuit maxed, because that tends to be the best one, or like one of the main parts of people's kit. I don't really know, but whatever, it doesn't bother me. They're all going to get level 10 anyway. So literally within 5-10 minutes of getting her, we have her fully maxed out basically, except for a couple of the weekly boss drops. We're missing a few levels here, but that's about it. Maxed weapon, maxed levels. I just need to deal with your echoes now, which is the one part I have no clue what to do with. So now I'm going to go have a look at some guides, see how she functions, and obviously how to build her, because I have zero clue and I cannot be bothered reading. Okay, so I probably should have looked at a guide before I built her, because we actually kind of want to work on her normal attack a little bit more than her skill. But oh well, that is fine. We're just kind of testing her out a little bit today. She has a quite complicated playstyle, to be fair, but it's basically something along the lines of use her attack, spawn in the little, that thing. You can like dash cancel or something, I don't know. And then you can use her skill, do some damage, whatever, and use her Forte Circuit. And then you can use her burst, and her burst has a very weird way of buffing damage because it can either do Aero, Erosion, or Spectro Frazzle. Obviously, for this team, we want Aero erosion, so we literally just throw her burst out and call it a day. We obviously would like to get this one. We want your normal sort of crit focused build, so crit damage for the 4 cost. Then for the 3 cost, we would like double Aero. That's generally the best. If not, we can also use an Aero attack. But apparently I only have one type of Aero enemy, which is going to be a small problem. Oh well, we'll figure something out. And then obviously for the 1 cost, we just want attack. So let's level up what we can, and then we'll have to try to find other stuff if not. Obviously substat wise, we do not want that. Substats are, again, normal DPS kind of stats. We would like crit rate, crit damage, ER, attack percent, that kind of stuff. Something exactly along the lines of that. If this last one can roll like an ER or attack percent, HP. Okay, not great, but it is definitely the best option, so we'll take that. I don't want to spend a ton of time doing these echoes today because I am a teensy tiny bit rushed. This video has been a little bit rushed compared to what I would have liked, but that is mainly for a couple reasons. One, OBS decided to, I don't know, kill itself. I don't know, it just stopped working. It removed all of my saved settings. So all of the actual recording settings in terms of the video quality, it just decided that, nah, I don't think you need them anymore, and I don't have them. So I had to fully reset up my entire OBS, which was not fun, and I don't know how long this is going to stay like that for. And then I'm also going to be going away in a couple days for a few days, so I kind of need to get this video out relatively quickly, so I can't spend a ton of time farming echoes. Ooh, okay, wait a minute. Please, attack percent, energy regen. One of the two. Attack percent, energy regen. Please. Okay, sure. It's not great. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. It's the best we've got. I really thought with the amount of farming I've done, I would have at least something. But no, apparently I don't. Everything's kind of meh. God, we're getting some scuffed pieces. Please, just something good for once. There is potential. I must say not much potential, but there is potential if we get a crit damage. Ooh, okay, and it's relatively high crit damage. You know what? Screw it, that works. Energy regen, crit rate, crit damage, basic attack, yeah, sure, whatever. Oh my goodness, what is that? I mean, I could run an aero damage attack if I wanted. Oh, wait. I was about to say that if we can't get a good double arrow, I could run aero attack, but we weren't even going to get a good arrow piece. But we may have just got... ignore that. It works. It works fine. There is our aero damage piece. We have no attack substat rolls, but that is, I mean, that's it. 8.6% attack on all of the pieces, so that's gonna be fun. But what is also gonna be fun now is the fact that I don't have another echo here. I don't have any other one of these echoes, because for whatever reason, there is only one in that hazard field. But apparently, yeah, we only have this guy because I haven't unlocked the other ones. But hey, the damage is still kind of there. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I'm seeing some like 4Ks, 3Ks, 2Ks from the normal attacks. Obviously, though, damage is not her main thing. She can do some good damage, but her main role is a support, a Aero and Spectro buffing support. So I will need to see how she buffs our lovely Alto, but I am more interested in her playstyle at the moment, which is actually pretty fun. Her skill pulls enemies in, which is actually really nice. It has like a suction part of it. So it pulls all of the enemies into one spot. And I really, really like that because that helps us group up all the enemies very nicely. And we don't really have a good grouping character on this account. So that's actually really nice. I'll take it. As for the rest of her kit, I believe the normal attacks, once you get the little hologram version of her, that just sits around and buffs aero damage. And then her burst also buffs aero damage as long as you don't accidentally enable the Spectro-Frazzle one. Or I think, no, it doesn't actually buff aero damage. It applies aero erosion, which I think in turn buffs aero damage. I don't really know. The only reaction, I guess you'd call it, that I'm familiar with in this game is any sort of Havoc stuff that you use Camellia with, because that's really the only thing I focused on. So I'm very clueless when it comes to Spectro-Frazzle and Aero erosion, all that kind of stuff. So I would very much appreciate anyone telling me how that works. Oh, wait, I forgot this. I was going to go in here and do this, but I think, can't you create your own echo to modify? I think I'd actually need the correct echo to do that. I don't know how many it uses only one. That's so good. We already have 38 of them, and it only takes 1 to craft up an Echo with the correct main stat. So really, as long as I can get any of the right Aero set, I could probably use the modifier thing to modify it into a Aero damage, and hopefully it rolls well. Speaking of rolling well, we did just do this one, so maybe it rolls better than our current one. Ooh, wait a minute. I mean, we're losing out on basic attack damage and heavy attack damage and resonance liberation and a bit of crit rate, but we are gaining crit damage, energy regen, and attack percent. I think I'm going to use that for now because she is more supportive, so ER is more helpful. Brings her up to 135, which is sort of her minimum, I think. She wants around a 135, so that'll do. It is nice to know that I can do that now, so I'm actually going to go in here and grab this Echo and modify this one over to Aero damage. So now we have another chance to roll a mediocre Aero damage piece. So are we going to get a little bit lucky on this piece? Do we see double crit and energy regen? We do not. Okay, fun. Well, I think that's just going to be what I do now, is I'm going to spend all of this, which you actually do have a little bit of now. So you know what? Let me do a run in here. And then any Aero damage pieces we get from that, I will level up and see if they're good. And if we don't get any Aero damage pieces that are good, then I'll take any of the other pieces that are not Aero damage and modify them to be Aero damage, and then hope that they roll good as well. And we don't see an Aero damage from those runs. That is fine though. I was preparing to do a ton more farming anyway, so that's just what we're going to have to do. Our Ciaccona does have a half decent build on her at the moment, so that's fine for now. I just need to go farm her weekly bosses a couple more times and some more of her echoes. But overall, aside from the echoes, actually I was going to say it's a pretty successful video, but like it was meh. We got Ciaccona, we got her S1, and we got her weapon. We were 226 pulls. Actually, let me math that out really quick. Yeah, no, the luck was not great. Basically, if we, split it all up, it would have been 80 pulls per thing we got. So 80 pulls for weapon, 80 pulls for Ciaccona, and 80 pulls for S1. Obviously, it didn't take that many for each of them, but if we evenly split it up, that's how much it would have been, which is not the greatest, to be fair. But hey, we do at least have Ciaccona with her signature weapon at S1. So I'll take it. That's good enough for now. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, if we do skill, we see about 1,500. If we do a thing with our lovely Ciaccona here, do your skill, boom, group enemies, do that, use your burst, boom, and then swap. We killed them all. We want that one. Swap to Alto. I don't think this is going to be buffing anymore, but no, we did buff. It went up to 1,800. Yeah, okay, there's definitely buffing there. Definitely damage happening. Okay, good. I think I kind of screwed it all up, but that just proves that Ciaccona is actually doing some good damage. So yeah, no, I do actually like it. She is very, very fun. Goodness, that actually did a lot more damage than I thought. But yeah, she's a fun character. I'm very stoked. With that, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you liked this video, go check out the last video where we did all the pre-farming for Ciaccona. And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.